Do you know the top 5 Etsy mistakes that can essentially plummet your sales and also maybe get your Etsy store shut down? I didn't when I began, and I made a few of these mistakes, to be quite honest. And this is what kind of took down my sales, and I realized I wasn't getting any sales. So if you guys are making these mistakes, please stop now, and we're gonna go over those mistakes. So guys, the number one mistake that a lot of new Etsy sellers make is they create items that are already trademarked, or they already are infringing on someone's intellectual property. And this is the one thing that can get you banned on Etsy. And guess what? Etsy has a rule that 3 strikes and you guys are out. So that means if you copy what is already trademarked or infringe on someone else's intellectual property 3 times, then you can never sell on Etsy again. And the way Etsy tracks if you've created a store in the past is by your IP address. They catch that you're under a certain IP address and you create another store from the same IP address of a banned Etsy store, you can get shut down again and again and again. If you guys are creating content or copying, stealing, or borrowing pieces of content on the internet that you think is yours, guess what guys? It might not be an original item from you. And I hate to say that because I know that you may have made a phrase or an item that you think is great and you think the design is great, that you spent so many countless hours on making this one design, and come to find out it's already trademarked or the phrase is already out there in the world, and you essentially are copying that item, which is not good at all because again, you guys can get banned on Etsy. Let's say you uploaded 10 listings already and maybe you didn't really do the trademark search. Now, the easiest way to trademark search is going on uspto.gov, enter into the TESS system, the test system, which essentially is a trademark engine that you can search all of your trademarks in and search certain quotes, certain sayings, certain brands, or anything like that that may be trademarked. If there's a character trademark on an item, that means any version of that word you cannot make in a design. So one of my best examples of this is the word wifey. I see so many people using the word wifey on Etsy, and yes, there's a lot of stores that get away with using that word. However, I will say that there's a lot of stores also that get banned for using that word, and you never hear about it because they're banned. They're gone. And you guys will never see why they got banned or how they got banned because they're not on Etsy anymore and they're selling on Shopify or other websites. Another example I like to use with copyright infringed items is Shroot Farms t-shirts or Shroot Farms items. I've seen it so many times on Etsy that people keep bringing back to life, and guess what Etsy does of people posting items that have anything related to Shroot Farms? They ban those stores almost immediately. So stop doing these things and stop doing pop culture items, because a lot of the times they're going to get banned for even being closely related to a certain already trademarked item. I have seen many people copy certain fonts of the Harry Potter items or even Disney. You guys, this is one of the biggest mistakes I have seen on Etsy. People are using the Walt Disney font. The Walt Disney font is called Waltograph, and that is a trademarked font. Meaning, if you guys use that font, you know what will happen. You guys will get banned from Etsy. Literally, 3 strikes, you guys are out. And if you have 3 separate listings with the Waltograph font, that means that you are going to get banned. And the only way to essentially buy this type of font license is you need to contact Disney. Another font that I see is the Harry Potter font in a lot of items. And again, this is a trademarked font, you guys. However, I will say there are certain fonts that you could purchase that are like the Harry Potter font, but not. I wanted to pause the video for a moment to further explain this concept. So there are Harry Potter like fonts that you guys can use. However, I will say that this is a very thin line to cross, and the opportunity for your store to get banned on Etsy will increase drastically by using a Harry Potter font. Like I said, these are like Harry Potter. So if you guys did absolutely want to make t-shirts online, again, you can't reference to Harry Potter at all, but you can do like witch and wizard t-shirts. You can't have any type of Harry Potter character, any Harry Potter anything in your listings. So this is what I was talking about in the video, is that you guys can make items like Harry Potter, but you can't have Harry Potter in any of your titles, tags, description. You can't have it anywhere. So if you're going to do anything, it's going to be magical t-shirts, magical sweatshirts. But again, guys, I'm not a legal expert, so you guys can still get your listings taken down for being close. Even this, you can't have Hagrid. You can't have any of the Harry Potter characters. So even in your titles and tags, if you put anything related to Harry Potter, a copyright office that's part of Time Warner Studios can still find you. And for even referring to Harry Potter, you can get your Etsy listing taken off of Etsy. I've seen a lot of Etsy stores come and go because everyone keeps making this mistake over and over and over again. And even in this area here, it says trademark rights. Time Warner holds the license to the Harry Potter characters and takes violations of their intellectual property very seriously. So it is not allowed to refer directly to the famous Hogwarts students, his friends, and enemies. So right here, as you guys can see, even if you refer to Voldemort in your title listing description, you guys can get taken off of Etsy and you can get banned. And that goes for Shopify as well. If you even refer to Voldemort, Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, if you refer to any of those on your Shopify store, of course you control the Shopify store and no one can take that down. However, if a copyright office that's part of Time Warner Studios finds you, you can go into a legal battle with Time Warner and they will win because they have a lot of money. On top of that, if you want to be kind of sneaky and make a Shopify store with Harry Potter items on it as well, just know that you may face serious legal charges with Time Warners with using any type of font with them, or any font or anything that relates to Harry Potter characters. The reason being is because this is still intellectual property of J.K. Rowling, and you just can't use items in general that are related to Harry Potter unless you go to Time Warner Studios directly and purchase their license. I just wanted to be very real and honest with you guys because I don't want your guys' stores to get taken down. Of course, you guys can kind of tread lightly on the line, but in my personal opinion, I would never tread lightly. Back to the video, guys. You guys need to be careful about going close to pop culture items or fan-based items because you can get banned by just even having it in the title of your listings. And I've seen a lot of people who get away with it, and that's great. But a lot of those people might be from a different country, and if you guys didn't know, you can't really sue someone fully in a different country, so the legal battle is kind of just not legitimate if you're suing from someone from a different country. However, I will say I have seen a lot of people in the United States who have gotten away with certain types of designs. I will say if someone files a DCMA claim against you, you can remove the DCMA claim on Etsy. So what a DMCA claim is basically it's a takedown notice. So if someone like Disney, for example, finds your listing on Etsy and sees that you are using the Waltogram font, they will file a DCMA claim to Etsy. Etsy will have to take down your listing because they received a takedown notice, and you can file against it. However, by filing against the DCMA claim and getting your listing taken back up on Etsy, so you provide all of your information and your mailing address to Disney, that brings your Etsy listing back up on the search. However, that means that Disney can sue you and you can go into legal proceedings with Disney. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. However, I'm just saying don't copy Disney, don't do anything related to Disney, and if you do, expect that your listings will eventually be taken down from Etsy. I've seen stores that really like to ride very close to these issues, and I've seen many stores who try to kind of go close to Disney but not really resemble all the items that or logos that Disney has, and that's great and all, but I would suggest staying as far away from Disney as you can. Now, I want to preface by saying I'm a huge Disney fan. I love Disney. I go to Disney every few years, and I love everything about Disney. But will I ever make a shop or any items related to Disney? No. I think it would be a great niche to be in. However, it's also a great niche to get legal battles with Disney. So, by default, don't copy Disney. It's really that simple. The second mistake to not make on Etsy is buying your own product and reviewing it. I know how attractive this may seem because as a new Etsy store, one of the biggest issues is people don't see that you have any purchases on your account and no reviews, so a lot of the times people won't buy your items only because they have no trust in your store. The only way to gain that trust is by getting some reviews coming in and purchases. A lot of people I have heard and seen have purchased their own items and reviewed their own items. And as great as of idea this might seem to kind of trick the algorithm, so to speak, and trick people into thinking that your items are great, this can essentially get you banned very quickly on Etsy. If they catch that you are under the same IP address and purchasing your item and reviewing your item, you will get banned, and it will be very quick, and before you know it, you will never be able to go back on Etsy. Just don't make this mistake, because I know how tempting it may seem to just do that, but you can always show your coworkers your items and ask them to purchase and leave reviews. You don't have to buy your own item to get that first review or first purchase. Mistake number 3 I see on Etsy quite often is people are copying stores almost exactly, and they're copying the designs on these stores and selling them as if it's their own item. This is a big issue I have dealt with personally. So one of the biggest questions I get on YouTube is, Heather, what is your store? What's the link to your actual Etsy store? Heather, I don't believe that your store is real because I don't see the actual results and I can't find you on Etsy, so how do I know if your store is real? Guys, I get this question a lot, and I will say I get about 3 to 5 of these questions per day that I will never answer, and this is the reason why. I've had probably about 100 stores copy my listings and designs on Etsy, and you know what happened to them? They all got banned because they are copying multiple stores and they are stealing intellectual property. I've had my intellectual property stolen countless times, and this is something that I definitely represent on my channel is do not share your Etsy store, especially if it's profitable and it's successful, because a lot of people will eventually copy that store. I shared it one time and the most striking thing happened to me almost immediately. First of all, my sales dipped by a lot. Second of all, so many copycat stores came about within a few weeks, and guess what? They literally took my design word for word, design by design, color by color, and they said it was their own. And that is the most frustrating thing, because let me tell you guys, I have put countless hours into my Etsy store. I have spent way more than 400 hours on this Etsy store. I put a lot of work into it, and that's what I teach on my channel, is to put work into your store. And no, I'm not going to share my store exactly and what exact niches I'm in and what exact categories I'm in. I can only tell you guys because people who are copycats and who have stolen my designs have ruined it for the rest of you. And I can't stress this enough, is don't share your Etsy store because your sales will plummet. That's all I have to say on that topic, and I'm only going to address that once per all of my videos because I don't want to keep negativity out there, but I do believe a lot of people are kind-hearted and good and they won't copy my designs or items. However, there's a lot of people who like to copy everything that you do, and that's one of the reasons why I will never show my actual Etsy store on my channel. I'm only going to share results with you guys and what has helped me, and you guys can learn a lot through that, and you guys can literally create a store very like mine without copying my store exactly. It's really that simple, and if you guys check in the links below, I have an Etsy blueprint that literally outlines all the niches I'm in whenever I post, and what you guys can do as well to see the success that I've seen on my store. The fourth mistake that a lot of people make is they are not utilizing good mockups, SEO, and tags when they first upload their listing on Etsy. Sometimes they'll upload a listing and then later on they will upload a nice picture for it and figure out the SEO and tags, and honestly, you guys need to stop doing this. Like, don't procrastinate the SEO, title, tags, and mockups. You need to have it at the very beginning once you post that listing, and the reason why is because Etsy's algorithm starts showing your listings to your future customers right off the jump. So immediately once you post that Etsy listing, within the first few days, Etsy will show it almost first in the search. And the reason why Etsy does this is because they are are already putting you into the ranking system, and they're seeing how your listing compares to other listings, and this essentially allows your item to scale and go up higher in the Etsy algorithm if you get a few sales. So that's why I suggest from the exact start of your listing, once you post that listing, you want to put on the best mockups, put on the best SEO, titles, tags, everything. You want it as a finalized product to give to your customers right once you post it on Etsy, because they're going to be comparing it to everyone else. And if you get no sales, if you get no favorites at the beginning, guess what will happen to your item? It's going to be in the last page of the search. And usually it does show up there in the first few weeks, but after a while you may see it at the top of the search. And I've seen my Etsy listings rank within a week or 2 weeks up to the top of the search on the first or second page from me just having everything as a complete package for the customer, that when they're clicking on my item, they're looking at all the color options and all the size charts and all of my reviews, and that's essentially what's going to turn your visitors into customers. The fifth mistake that I see new Etsy users do is they are not using social media, especially for handmade businesses. If you aren't using social media to promote your product, then you're already making the biggest mistake that you can do for your store, and that's not promoting your product. Yes, Etsy is an organic traffic machine. However, if you're not bringing in outside sources into your Etsy and you're not getting those first sales, then you won't see your items rank in the Etsy search. There's so many other ways where you can show your handmade business, or if you have a print-on-demand Etsy business like I teach in all of my videos, there's so many ways that you guys can show your items on TikTok especially. TikTok is such a viral platform that you should be using. You want to film videos of you making your item or just simply packing and shipping your items. People love watching small business TikToks, and this is such a great way to grow right now, especially if you have a handmade business or even print-on-demand business, t-shirt business. There's so many other ways that you guys can rank in the Etsy algorithm by starting with social media, bringing customers from social media to your Etsy store, and then from that, Etsy will generate its own organic traffic, so you'll have your social media traffic and then also Etsy's traffic, which almost basically doubles your profit if you start seeing those sales. I just hope that you guys aren't making these top 5 mistakes and you guys are steering clear from infringing on intellectual property and learning what steps you guys can take to make sure you aren't infringing on intellectual property. I personally accidentally did this, and I have been so good with researching, but one did slip away from my fingers, and that one item that slipped away from my fingers was a real estate t-shirt. The word realtor is actually a trademarked word, and a lot of people don't know that because I've used the word realtor thinking that it's a real word when it's not a real word, it's a trademarked word. So you have to research every single design and every single quote or saying that you're putting on a t-shirt and making sure that you are protecting yourself from legal issues. Definitely comment below if you guys have any questions, and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you guys can see my future videos about Etsy and print on demand and just having an online business. We're gonna go into all of these topics on this channel, and I am excited to film more and see you guys in the next video.